All right, we get to pull the motor now. Today, Brennan's here. He's helping me out. We haven't done too much yet. We just pulled the radiator. Whole wiring harness is out. Just drained the oil and the coolant. And just a few little things like power steering has to come out. We're gonna have to unbolt the transmission. I'm gonna pull the transmission out with the motor. And I think that's it. Take the drive shaft off and we'll just go little by little and see what we need to do. It didn't work? There it goes.
I kind of had it.
Yeah, you had it. Oh, you had it. I like sucked my mouth. How the fuck do you do that?
Fucking. That was a little bit, and then it's all film. Teaser. Status.
So we've obviously disconnected a lot of shit, and we are trying to pull her out. Oh look, that's already
Nice.
scratching. I don't care if it scratches though. Now there's a few things I couldn't get to. I'm gonna get to them now, and then we're gonna slowly go up, disconnect things, slowly go up, hopefully pull this whole thing out really easily. So I just pulled off the transmission. Look at this sick ass clutch. Where does it say?
Right here, it's an Ogira racing clutch. It's like Japanese shit. Like,
Look at that. That's sick. It looks so good. It's clean, boy. That shit looks sick, boy.
aftermarket clutch and lightweight flywheel.
All right, we're gonna tear into this motor today. I'm pretty excited to see what's going on. First things first, I have to take off the clutch and mount this thing to the engine stand. So I already went and got the hardware so I can mount it to the engine stand. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. Oh God. Just go for it. Just send her. Fuck.
Yes.
Yep, look at that.
Yes.
Well,
Some metal sand.
looks like we found the problem, huh? Fuck, dude, look at all that shit.
You spun sixth.
We got the crank removed, it's over there on the ground. And the main bearings look alright. I mean, there's a little bit of wear, obviously, but I can't feel anything. So that's pretty good. Still gonna replace those, and then This one right here is number 6. This is the rod bearing that came out of it.
Or bearings. That's
Yeah, this is both of them together. So.
And the rest is in there.
That look, yeah, the rest is in the pan. Look how crazy this is. So we got quite a lot done yesterday. Motor's pretty much ready to go out to the machine shop. Aside from a few small little things, like you know, I'll pull the stud out, some of these bolts that I have right here, the water neck, the piston's already out, they're just sitting in there. But yeah, everything looks good. You see, I believe when you go to the machine shop, they re-hone anyways, but there's no scoring on any of the cylinder walls. The pistons themselves look pretty good. They're just caked up a bit. This is the cylinder that the spark plug, the seal wasn't good, so you could see all the carbon buildup. It's pretty nasty. We'll get those cleaned up real nice. So if I had to guess why that bearing like annihilated itself, I would say I think that there may not have been enough oil in the car, and when I was ripping it, it was just pumping so much oil to the head. Famous RB problem. The head couldn't get rid of the oil fast enough, so it was just so much oil in the head, smoking out, no oil in the crank, and the bearing didn't like that. So that's what I'm guessing happened. Obviously the motor can't just talk to me and tell me why it blew up, but that's what I'm guessing what happened. So definitely for the next build, we're gonna go with N1 oil pump, billet gears in that. I'm gonna go ahead and get a bigger sump, because that has been recommended a lot. There's companies that make them front sump, super easy, it fits direct fit, and it has some different ports, so I can have a head drain on the back this time around and drain it directly to the sump. The sump is deeper. I think it's an 8-liter sump, and it has like trap doors and stuff in it, so the oil always stays by the pickup, which is really, really cool. So definitely gonna do that, so hopefully we don't have any more oiling problems, especially with the power level we're gonna be at. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. As far as cooling goes, we're gonna go ahead and get the N1 water pump as well. We got the Mission Motor radiator hanging out over there. We're gonna get a GK Tech fan, and the cooling should be perfect. Won't worry about that. Let's see what else. Oh, we need new rods. Obviously need new rods, because well, I mean, I could have kept the rods, but this one, the one that the bearing disintegrated itself, it has it's not good. I don't know, you're not gonna be able to see. You see those little black pieces? That's where it's destroyed, and obviously it's scored all up on the inside. So we're gonna get some forged rods. So we'll be stock pistons, forged rods, which would be perfectly fine in my opinion. That's what we're gonna do for the bottom end. Maybe we'll get some ARP main studs. We're gonna do obviously new main bearings, new rod bearings. The pistons we're keeping, I already said that. For the head, I believe since we already have the head out, it's gotta get machined anyways. I think we're gonna do some new valve springs and cams, like a more aggressive cam, some stiffer valve springs, and we'll have the machine shop go ahead and install that for us and set the clearances and all that stuff. Hopefully they can do that. I think they can do that. They already did that on my buddy's V8, so hopefully they can assemble that, so all I have to do is throw the head right on. I don't have to worry about tolerances and valve lash and all that crap, and that should be good. As for the turbo's sitting right here. This turbo's for sale. There's nothing wrong with it at all. There's no play in the shaft. I literally ran it for like 3 miles maybe. I just didn't realize at the time that the T51R mod is an anti-surge mod, meaning very hard to get a toot, and that's like literally what I want, so I have no blowout valve. So this is getting sold, and I'm gonna switch wastegates too. I think this wastegate is just not good. eBay wastegate, it's shit. I think I want to modify this exhaust manifold and cut off this flange right here and do the V-band 44 tile wastegate, and then I can modify the screamer pipe to do the same thing, 44 mil wastegate, and I can have the correct springs in there, and it should be pretty solid, I'd say. And I'm gonna heat wrap that too. I'm gonna heat wrap. I tried doing like a heat spray on it. Obviously, didn't hold up very well, scratch and flaking off and stuff. So we're gonna heat wrap that. Manifold side, I did realize that my IAC valve, they give you an O-ring. You're not gonna be able to see it right now, but in a later video I'll show you. They give you an O-ring that seals off that hole on the manifold if you don't want to use your IAC, and I use that and put my IAC on. But there's another little hole that isn't sealed, and I guarantee you it was leaking, which is why my idle is kind of all over the place. So I'm gonna take that off and actually seal it correctly with like RTV, and then that should be all good. Also, look at this. This is the old head gasket. It looks great, by the way. And it was MLS already, so the head's already been off. Had an MLS head gasket. This is the old timing belt. I have a new one. We'll change that. And I think we're about chilling. Also, I've made the decision to delete AC completely from this car. It's just, honestly, it's more shit to worry about. I drove my truck without AC. It doesn't bother me. Yeah, it gets hot sometimes. Don't really care. Then I can get a double DIN on the inside, so I don't have to have the AC like controller panel, and I could have a thing for my gauges. So that is gonna be a part of the cleanup of the engine bay. Take out all the AC stuff, and it'll also all be for sale. All the AC stuff will be for sale. Compressor, bracket, I have all that stuff right there. I'm gonna take out all the AC lines, the condenser, evaporator, all that AC stuff is all gonna be for sale. So if anybody wants a full AC kit for an R32, RB25, I gotcha. I'm also not exactly sure about the oil restrictors. I have to do a little bit of research on that. I think that, I mean, dude, I don't really know. I think that normally people block off this first one completely, and then they have restrictors in these two, and then the last one, which is, actually, I think that's it. I'm pretty sure there's only 3 on the RB25. There's this one, and then there's these 2. And then these are the drains. Some people say drill them out. A lot of people don't do that because it sacrifices the integrity of the block, but we should be fine. Proper restrictors, good oil pump, billet gears. The billet gears is really so it doesn't crack. It probably doesn't affect. The N1 oil pump pumps more by itself, so a higher flow pump. The sump is going to have enough oil and trapdoors and stuff, so it always has enough oil. And then these should restrict the head from getting too much oil, and then the head drain, just in case it does get too much oil, have a straight shot back into the oil sump. So I think that's good based on my research. A lot of stuff, but I think once you figure out the oiling problem with the RBs, they're actually pretty good. So if anybody wants this turbo, hit me up. If anybody wants AC for R32, RB25, I think it's R33 too. It's all pretty similar stuff. Hit my line. I got that for sale. What else do I got for sale? I got an eBay turbo for sale, a Pexi turbo for sale, Power FC for sale. Hit me up. I got a lot of stuff. Got a lot of good stuff. So DM me on Instagram if you want any of that, or tell your friends or whatever. Everything needs to go. Help me get some money, because this is going to be very, very expensive, but hopefully it's a one-time thing.
Why they wanna be me, it's not what it seems. Running to the bank, putting wet on my Achilles. We been thumbing blue faces like they Washingtons. On a run from MIA up to Washington.